One of those unique places to visit is the Delta Blues Museum, and they've got some cool things going on there. And joining us to share a little bit more is Miss Shelley Ritter, the museum director. Hey, Shelley.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited to have you back. I think it was a while back since we had you on, and any time that we can remind folks that the Delta Blues Museum was Mississippi's first music museum, or it may be our only music museum, it's a good thing. So how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. We've got a lot going on up here in spite of the heat.
Well, museums fit right into the things that you can do to get out of the sweltering heat and learn something new and still be entertained. Okay, if people are wondering, Delta Blues Museum, but we have the Grammy Museum and we have all the other sort of things. How is the Delta Blues Museum different?
Well, we're the world's first museum devoted entirely to blues. So we tell the story of blues men and women from Mississippi, largely from Clarksdale and the Delta, and how the music that they made and created shaped music that we listen to today, because they really did have an impact on all genres of music all around the world.
And you guys were established back in 79, but it wasn't until 99 that you kind of became standalone. How's the transition for the museum been?
It's been good. We started in the Carnegie Public Library. Well, we started in a branch of the Carnegie Public Library called Myrtle Hall, and we quickly outgrew that and moved into the library, and then we continued to grow and people continued to come, and it sort of was disruptive to library patrons who were there trying to do, research and study and do quiet things, because we had music and, chatter and a lot of things. So it's worked out really well. We still work with the library and have a great relationship with them. We're just we're in a separate building now. And we're in a Mississippi landmark, the historic Yazoo Freight Depot. And in 2012, we added 7,500 square feet to the museum. So we expanded our gallery space tremendously. And we've been working on new permanent exhibits since that time, and thanks to some support from the Mississippi legislature through House Bill 1730 and Senate Bill 2969, we are actually doing a second installation of new permanent exhibits starting next week.
That's really exciting. It's also good to know that can be something that's bipartisan. They can come together and say, hey, we need to preserve this history. More folks need to be educated and understand, Mississippi's place in music, back then as well as today. And so it must be cool to sort of get to work on a project that everyone agrees should be happening.
Yes. It is, and it's really exciting to see ideas go, from paper to, 3D in the gallery.
Can you give us a little bit of sneak peek about maybe what the new permanent installations will be, or what kind of artifacts you got your hands on?
Sure. We are the first phase of the new permanent exhibits was installed in the new wing that I mentioned. Because that was new and that was easy. So with this next installation, it will be going into the original depot part. So we will be closing to the public on Thursday of this week, and we'll be reopening on August the 8th. But some of the things that we're doing that I'm really excited about, we've identified for working terms, we call them anchor artists, who really are some of the pioneers of blues music, and so we'll be devoting areas to them to sort of show their influence then and now. And we'll be doing an installation that will discuss a little bit about women in the blues, and we'll have the Crossroads, of course, and some other themes like that.
I like the
filling
women in
in.
the blues part. I mean, you hear of all some of the great men who forged the way, which no disrespect or take away from their accomplishments. But who would be a name or two in terms of women in the blues that we might look forward to seeing or learning more about there?
Well, Mamie Smith, we can really credit her for making blues, getting everyone's attention and making blues a significant genre, because it was her recording of Crazy Blues that sold just a phenomenal amount of 78s, and that really sort of woke up the recording industry that there was money to be made in recording blues, which at that time they were calling them race records. So if a woman hadn't recorded blues, we don't know where, when it would have become as mainstream or as popular as it is.
Oh, that's a fun fact. I didn't know that. That's something to ponder for sure. You guys you also have an event coming up in downtown Clarksdale, the 34th Annual Sunflower River Blues and Gospel Festival. Feels like it's a good fit for what you are doing there at the museum. Y'all may not be putting it on, but connected with, or how are you connected with it?
We're connected with it because we kind of host it. It takes place in our front yard, and the music will be on our outdoor stage.
Oh,
and we use our museum classroom as the green room for the artists. So we're really excited because it's fun to transform, our grounds into like a festival atmosphere for the weekend.
Well, 34th annual, that means it's been around for a minute, Shelley. How did it get started over 3 decades ago, almost 3.5?
Yeah, the first festival was in 1988. So, and I believe, I wasn't living in Clarksdale then, but I believe that Jim O'Neill and Dr. Patricia Johnson, Patty Johnson, who had a record label called Rooster Records, they sort of, they were recording blues artists, and they realized that, we should have an event that showcased them. So they started the first festival, and it's just grown and grown.
I'm also looking over at SuperTalk TV, the picture of the Blues Trail marker that you sent for us for the Delta Blues Museum. We're all about visiting Mississippi here on Good Things, Shelley. So if they stop at the museum and they see the marker, what kind of knowledge are they going to learn?
Well, they'll learn that we are the world's first museum devoted entirely to blues. They will learn a little bit about our arts and education program, and if you're not familiar with that, it's produced most of the artists who are local artists performing in and around Clarksdale, like Anthony Big A. Sherrard, Lee Williams, Jacqueline Nasser, and others, and Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram, who recently won a Grammy, also came through our program. So we're very happy and pleased with our program that teaches students of all ages how to sing and play the blues. And we also, on our property, have a marker that talks about the Sunflower River Blues and Gospel Festival. It's over near the stage.
Well, it feels like you're just rich in history there in Clarksdale, and it's something we should put on our bucket list of things to stop and see in Mississippi. I mean, it's one of those little, nuggets of history, and it sounds like a lot of fun that folks may not have knew that was right there for their enjoyment. Where can we go to keep up with everything you've got going on, to maybe plan a trip?
Visit our website, which is www.deltabluesmuseum.org, and we also have a Facebook page, and we do some posts there. You can sign up for our newsletter through Facebook or on our website.
And then I know the 34th Annual Sunflower River Blues and Gospel Festival will be happening August the 12th through the 14th. So
yes,
still time to get away, even if school's back in session, for a quick day trip or fun staycation. So, Shelley, congratulations for everything going on there at the museum, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rebecca.
All righty, you guys stick with us. We got more good for you coming up next.